Hi guys, it's Uldouz and welcome to the Uldouz Show. Today I have a very special guest and her name is Santia Deck. She's a American football player. She has her own clothing line, her shoe line, and she's doing really well as an entrepreneur and everything. So thank you so much for joining me today, Santia.
Course,
Um, let's
of
just
course.
get into it. What does it feel like to be like a female American football player? Like how is that?
I mean, it's like a bittersweet thing. First of all, it's amazing to see how many little girls actually want to play the sport and didn't even know that they had a place. A lot of them are still playing with, guys and everything, not
Mhm.
knowing that there's women leagues or we can play with each other so that we don't have to worry about all the other extraness of, just being a woman in that industry.
Yeah.
And just the empowerment side is amazing. I love like walking into the room and nobody believes me, and then I have to show them like my highlights and they're like, oh, you actually play, like you play for real. So I kind of like that. It's just us. It's kind of like being a unicorn.
Mhm.
But of course, the flip side is you have a lot of men that don't want to see women in that industry. They don't want to see women on the field. They don't want women to, be involved in football at all, really. Like when I first went viral for football, I've gotten a lot of messages about like, oh, you should just stay like, and you should be in the kitchen. You should be having kids.
What the
Why
hell?
don't you go and be a cheerleader? Things like that. So like, I have tough skin though, so I learned like that comes with the territory.
But it's just so crazy to me because it's not like you're competing against men. You're over here competing against other women. And why are they
Yeah.
feeling so threatened by that? It just makes no sense to me. Like like what do you think where does all this like stem from?
Well, I think when I first, made history for football, they immediately thought I was trying to get into the NFL. And I'm like, why would you think I'm 5'1", 145 pounds on a good day? Why would you think that I have any business being on the field with like 400-pound linemen and I'm a running back at that? So it's like, I just feel like they just wanted to find a reason to be mad about something. And I love giving it to them. So I don't mind. Bring the hate if they want. I'm going to just keep doing what I do.
No, it's like super impressive, like what you're doing, because I never met a female American football player. And like I
Yeah.
grew up in Sweden. So like football in general, I don't really like have a lot of knowledge about it because I wasn't
Yeah.
raised here. But to me, it's just like always been like you see the guys and they're playing football and this is a man's game kind of
Mhm.
thing. But like to me it's just so impressive that you took it on yourself and like you basically made history on like being an American football player. It's like
Thank
do you
you.
even understand like the amount of progress that you've done like for women in general? It's just like crazy to me. Like in my head, I'm like, I can't even grasp it. I'm like, she's a woman. She's an American football player. She's a woman, and like she just
Yeah.
really changed history, like all by herself.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
super impressive. So you should be so proud of yourself for doing that,
Thank
and
you.
not only you for like all women, not just for
Exactly.
you. That's super impressive, and like I don't know, it like really makes me feel good when I see women like just being successful and like,
Yes.
it's just so cool. So thank you so much for doing that because it's like you're making the dreams of many, many little girls and future women come true by you just doing it.
Yeah, that's what I do it for. It's not about me, it's about just the future generations, to be honest. It's about
Yeah.
women empowerment. It doesn't matter if I was doing something else, it's just about opening up the doors and showing little girls that you can literally do what you want to do. So that's what I do it for.
Yeah, no, that's super cool, and like I'm proud for you. Like I want to be like, thank you, give me a hug, like
Thank
give me
you.
a hug. I want to be your best friend. Like this is so cool. Like. No, but it's super impressive. And then you're like an entrepreneur on top of that. Like you're doing so well in so many different fields of your life. So it's like it's just you're like a leading lady, and everything.
Thank you. Thank you. I
Yeah.
try. I try.
Yeah. So when you get like hate from all these guys that are trying to bring you down about all this, like has it been ever like a bad like, did you have a bad day about it because you're just like, oh my God, like, why are they treating me like this? Or has it always been kind of like, screw them, like, I'm gonna do my own thing and, whatever?
I think when it first happened, like the day that I went viral, it's like the next day my life changed or whatever. I think seeing the lies is what kind of got to me, because there was a lot of bloggers that was like, oh, this woman's trying to play in the NFL, and why, just like all these angry bloggers that are men that
Mm.
just like are like misogynist or whatever, like they just hate
Yeah.
women, I guess. And they were
Yeah.
just saying all this crazy stuff and like putting me side to side with like other players and saying, oh my gosh, if she could never do this. And I'm like, did y'all even pay attention to like what the article said? Like, I played for an actual all women's league. I had
Yeah.
to go on the Kelly Clarkson show to actually make a national announcement about, hey, I'm not playing in the NFL. I'm playing in the WFLA, which is a women's football league. And like,
Yeah.
it finally kind of, I guess, resonated. But still, even to this day, people still don't know that like I play in a women's league, which is crazy. Like, I could see if I was like 6'7" and maybe like 500 pounds, maybe, but I'm like tiny. So I'm like, come on, like let's use our heads. But
Yeah.
honestly, after that, like I have pretty tough skin. Like, I've been in the entertainment industry for a minute, so I understand that just comes with the territory. But it's just, I don't like ignorance, and I just feel like there's a lot of ignorance.
Yeah,
So
no, I totally understand. Like, and you kind of got to build that tough skin, like
you
being in
do,
that business, like, especially like knowing there's so many misogynistic men that are like not wanting you to do this for whatever reason. It's
yeah.
crazy to me. And also, like, another thing that I was wondering is like, because you're such a strong woman and you're like, I got this career and you make so much money and, you're successful and you're beautiful. Like, has it been hard to find someone like, to be in a relationship and the dating and that whole aspect? Because I know myself, like, just being a strong woman, like, or making money, like, it's not something a lot of guys like, like, so like, how is that
Man.
going?
It has been very tough, to be quite honest. When I meet men, I think they're fascinated by what I do, but then when they actually get a peek inside my life, they're like, oh wow, this is too much for me. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't know it was gonna be all of this or whatever, or they don't like the fans or whatever that comes with me.
Mhm.
So finding someone to accept me for me has been very, very tough. Like, very tough. Like, extremely tough.
Yeah.
But I understand that those men aren't for me. I would
Mhm.
have to be with someone that's equally as um strong and successful and confident and things like that. I've learned that. And I just feel like in God's timing, that's the best way I can say it. But yeah, it's tough for all women that are doing something like to, on a high level. And I
Yeah.
realized like I'm not alone. Because at first I was like, Jesus, this is it just me? And then I talked to these other women that are like doing really well, and they're like, no, like we're all struggling out here. So
Yeah.
it's unfortunate. It's like men don't want women that don't do anything, but if you do too much, that's a problem too. So it's like, I don't know, you just got to find the right person, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. No, I totally agree. And like with that is like so crazy because what I experience is like, oh, you can be smart but not too smart, like, or you can
Yes.
shine but not overshine them, like, or you can
Hmm.
be pretty but not too pretty when it's in public. Like, it's
Yeah,
always like you can be this but not that. And then constantly
exactly.
being told like this is too much or this is too little. Like, it drives you crazy to a point where I'm just like, yeah, fuck this. Like,
Right.
I don't even want to deal with it. Like, but like that's what's so crazy to me. Like, here you are, this amazing woman that like literally like created history and like done all these amazing things, and you're beautiful and you have amazing body and you got everything going for you, and like it's like hard. And then I started thinking about like all these other women that are like major celebrities, like Halle Berry and J Lo and like Madonna, and like they're all having a hard time. And it's just crazy to me. Well, maybe they like they're good now, but it's been
Yeah, they're
like,
older though. They're like way older now.
yeah, I mean, it's been a while. Like, imagine,
Yeah.
like, all this time they've been having all that time that been hard. But maybe that's the thing with us too. Maybe when we get like older, will finally find our
That
true
sounds
like
so sad.
love story. But it's good because you
Right.
kind of weed out all the stuff, and then once you get older, you kind of like understand what's important and what really isn't.
That's
And
true.
like for me, if somebody's not going to be supportive, I'm not going to hold on to that. Like,
That's the number one thing.
yeah,
Like you have to have a support system. Like, and that's what I have always had a hard time with, is finding someone that isn't like afraid to like support me, or they, like you said, it's like, oh, like you're shining too much, like you're taking my shine now. And it's
yeah,
just like, okay, I thought we were gonna be like this power couple, and like me and
yeah,
say they want that, and then when it's you come knocking at their door, they're like, oh, you're too powerful. I don't know what to do with you.
yeah.
So
I
it's
totally
like, I don't
agree.
know. Yeah,
It's hard because there's no like, you can't stop being yourself, and like it's
never.
almost like people, they want you to stop being yourself in order to like make the other person happy. But what about just being you and just being accepted fully for everything that you are? I feel like guys get so accepted to being everything that they are, like,
Hmm.
even especially if they're successful, oh my god, you could cheat anytime you want, and everything,
Right.
and people take you back, and like,
Yeah.
like
The double standards is crazy. That's all I can say.
yeah, it's really crazy. Like to me, I'm just like, what the hell? Like, so yeah, it's interesting because yeah, like you experience it just like many other women, whether
Hmm.
they're in the public eye or not, whether they're successful or not. It's just very hard to like find someone and then to be yourself. Like,
What I can
like,
say is that there are good men,
yeah,
but you just, it's a dime a dozen. That's what I would say.
yeah,
It's like finding a needle in a haystack. But there are good men out here. I've experienced it. I'm experiencing it now, actually. So
that's
you just
great.
have to be
Yeah,
patient. That's the main thing. I just turned 30, so like, and I'm
yeah,
just now like getting in a situation where I feel like I'm starting to meet good, decent people. But it took a long time, and I had to realize like what I deserve, what I'm not settling for, my non-negotiables. And once I did that, it just weeds out people, and then you don't have to waste your time. So that's
yeah.
what I would say. Just
I
know what
think
you
that's
want and
what's
stick to
important.
it.
That's what's so important too, is like before you even get into the dating, I feel like everybody should work on themselves. Like
Yes.
fix out, whatever is kind of standing in your way, whatever issues you haven't dealt with. And once
Mhm.
you do that, it's so much easier to like kind of figure out like, okay, well, this person is just interested in that, or that person is
Yes.
no good. And you kind of weed everybody out, like you said. And then in the end you're like, okay, this is a great person. Or maybe even
Exactly.
like, you might not even be ready for something. Maybe you're just happy being
Hmm.
alone. Like I
Exactly.
think,
But you find out about
yeah,
yourself and what you want. And when you do that, it just makes life a lot easier. Because if you're just out here searching and grabbing at anything, that's exhausting. But if you're like, hey, I know this, and this, if this person doesn't have this, I'm not even talking to you.
yeah,
That makes life so much easier than just, oh, let me go on a date, let me go on a date, let me go on a date. And you hate everybody. It's just like, oh my gosh. Now I want to be by myself.
I know.
So
Like
it's
I find it so interesting, people that go on dating apps and they have a new date every single night. Like I'm like, oh my god, that's like a job. Like it's
oh,
so
every single
exhausting. Like
night?
that life
Jesus.
is just, it's just too much. Like, and then with the whole dating app aspect, like too, you're just like, oh, is that even safe? Like I don't even know what's happening. Like it's crazy.
See, my parent, my mother and my twin brother actually got married off dating apps. So it's just the
What?
right, yeah. And my one of my close friends got married off of Bumble. So I mean, it's just like you just have to do like vigorous vetting. Like you just have to make sure that you're like asking every single question, talk to them on the phone, like just make sure like you at least sort of know what you're getting yourself. Of course, you're not gonna know everything. That's why you have
Yeah,
to go on a date. But at least you can kind of like disqualify people quickly on dating apps. I can't say that. But
yeah.
every night, no, don't do that. That's too much.
Like do like a whole background check, see if they have like
Yeah,
any
all that.
criminal
Google
records.
him, all that. So you're like, okay, you're a decent human being, maybe.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy because like I miss the days where you just go out like to a grocery store or something, and then you go on a date without having to like check a criminal record or
I
something.
know, yes, times have changed. People are scared to talk to each other now because of COVID. It's just like we're in a weird space right now, I would say.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said, it's whatever God has planned.
Yeah, I totally agree. And then with your clothing line and like all of like the shoe lines and the clothing line, what are you
Mhm.
working on with that? Is there anything that like we have to like look forward to, or
Yes. So actually, this weekend we're gonna be in West. Can't even talk. West Palm Beach.
Mhm.
At the sneaker exit event. So we're gonna be out there. The team will be out there, so you can come and try on the shoes in I can't even talk right now. Jesus.
Yeah.
In West Palm Beach, I posted the flyer on my page. So
Mhm.
I'll just say come out. There's a lot of people that's been asking, hey, can I see them in person? Can I try them on? So this is your chance. Also, we're working currently on getting our sneakers in the actual Foot Lockers. So
Mhm.
that's something that we're super excited about. We're currently partnering with East Bay.
Nice.
And we have a lot of things coming up that I can't talk about that I'm super, super excited about. There's one project in specific that I know is going to change the whole game again for women. So I'm
Mhm.
doing it for women again. So I'm
Nice.
super excited about that. That's coming up.
Mhm.
And I would just stay tuned. There's so much stuff that I wish I could talk about, but we're working on a lot. So we're trying to be the next big thing. So just stay tuned.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like you gotta like send me a little care package or something.
I got you. I'm gonna send you some
Like,
shoes.
yeah, I'm like, hell yeah, like look at
I
me.
would appreciate it. Yeah.
I'll be on my Instagram, like, check me
Wait,
out.
what's your favorite color?
Wow, like, well, when it comes to sneakers or
Yeah,
what,
yeah,
I like
sneakers.
white, you know. Well,
I got some all
anything
white shoes. You would love them. I promise. And they're gonna be the most like comfortable shoes ever. I promise.
really, because I
Yeah,
feel like I have like an arch, but yeah, like it's like I don't know if I walk a little bit to the side or something.
I do that. I'm telling you, I walk on the side of my foot. So
Yeah.
like but that's when I tell you, like it literally feels like you're walking on clouds, and it
Yeah.
takes like the shock like off of like your knees and your joints and all that stuff, all the
Oh, I need
pressure.
that.
It's gonna change the game for you. I promise.
Yeah, I need that. I'm gonna be like, I'm walking on clouds.
I
Thanks
promise.
to
That's what everybody
Santia.
says. That's what all our customers say.
Yeah, it's like Santia Deck. It's like the shoes is like a deck. Like no, I love it. That's amazing. Like,
Thank you.
so are you working on anything else right now or
Oh man, where do I start? Okay, so another project that I'm currently working on, I'm actually writing my second book. So I'm pretty excited about that as
wow.
well. I'm gonna be launching a CBD company, which I'm also excited about just because I'm currently going through an injury and
Mhm.
CBD is like saving my life right now.
Yeah.
So having my own line is just gonna be super awesome because I truly believe in the benefits of it.
Mhm.
And geez, I just launched a actual like clothing boutique called Santia Marie Fashion. So I love
Nice.
clothes, I love fashion. So I just had to do that outside of just like the athletic and the sneaker part of things.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm missing something, but I'm doing a lot. Like 20 this year is supposed to be like my year. So I'm just literally reaching for everything and whatever doors open, I'm walking through
No,
it.
that's great. Like I think you should do like a movie about your life story and like
I was
all
just
the
talking about
stuff that you went through, like doing like American football and stuff.
yeah, yeah. So actually I'm working on a documentary right now too. So I'm pretty excited about that too. So it's a lot going on over here. A lot of good
Yeah,
things.
no, like that's amazing. I mean, that's the first go to. I was like, she has to make a movie. Like, I want to see
Yeah.
this movie. It will be like this super cool story, you know, like all these like
Yeah.
actors and stuff. But yeah, like, well, you should play yourself, but you know,
No, I
but
can't
who
act. I
knows?
can't act.
No, I'm like, well, somebody that, well, I guess you could play yourself, but somebody that looks like you, basically, you know?
True, true. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, you like take some acting classes. You got this, you know?
You're right. You're right. I guess I
Yeah.
could. I guess I could. You're right.
I mean, you did everything else, like, you know, author, documentarian, like CBD and like clothing line,
Now that's the
shoes.
next level.
Yeah, I'm
Next level
telling
of
you, you
acting.
could do it. You got everything in line. Like you just gotta go after it, you know? So,
Facts. You're right.
one
You're
more
right.
thing that I wanted to ask you is I'm working on changing the law right now against hack leak crimes of private images and videos. And right now, these hackers are getting sentenced as someone who's committing a hack crime, like hacking somebody's email or something. What do you
Mhm.
think about the laws right now? Do you think they're outdated? Do you think that the laws need to change against these type of hack crimes as someone who's committing a sex crime, or what are your thoughts about all that?
Yeah, I definitely think the law needs to change with that because there's so many people's lives being turned upside down because of hacking and because of things being leaked and things like that. And
Mhm.
it's so many laws that I feel like, I'm not saying that they're not needed, but there's bigger issues.
Yeah.
And definitely with like COVID going on, and if let's say somebody hacks your email and that's your livelihood, now
Mhm.
you're over here struggling, and you know what I'm saying? It's so many things going on in the world to where that is like a really big issue. And even for like just influencers and things like that, like I don't know why it's so many like spamming and hacks and bots and everything, but it's like on a whole nother level now. So
Yeah.
I 100% agree that that needs to be changed because it's scary. And again, like we have some really important information, we all do, that
Mhm.
doesn't need to be out in the public because again, that can change your life, that can mess up your safety, that can mess up your family's safety. So
Mhm.
yeah, things like that need to be taken care of. So I 100% agree that it needs to be changed.
Yeah, and like as far as like people leaking the images and the videos online and profiting from it, like it's like everybody's in on it, like Google, like all these porn
Yeah,
sites, like everyone. And it's just kind of like, why isn't there any laws against this? Because they're basically online sex trafficking, all these
it
poor like
is.
little girls and women or little boys, it's
Hmm.
crazy to me.
It
Like
is.
everything is
It's
too
a disturbing
outdated.
world that we live in, and like you said, everybody, unfortunately, everybody is in on it, or is in on it. So that is why I feel like it's a lot easier and it's so prevalent now.
Hmm.
And I guess you've seen like celebrities always having their stuff leaked now. And it
Hmm.
almost seems like, okay, is this on purpose because they're getting paid? Like, what's going on? It's
Yeah.
just a sick world we live in. So I do feel like that needs to be looked into more
Mhm.
because I mean, again, this is messing up people's entire lives. So it's like it's
Yeah.
unfair, and justice needs to be served with that.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree. I'm like, yeah, like what's so crazy to me is like what I notice is like a lot of people they're like, well, they shouldn't have taken the picture or they shouldn't have taken the video. But there's a lot of these victims, they're not even actually taking the pictures or the videos. It's like a predator that like took a picture of them or video and then leaked it themselves or made it public. So like
Yeah,
and even they can hack like everything. Like they can hack into like a
yeah,
webcam right now and just like you walk around
exactly.
out
Yeah,
the shower or something and they're like, oh, posting it online, or
exactly,
you're with your
exactly.
boyfriend. You don't like people don't know how these things get leaked or they're on there, and sometimes it states that it's hacked or it's leaked, but people could be watching like porn and not even know that this person is like being posted without consent, like, which is so crazy to me.
Exactly.
Like, why isn't there strict regulations against everything?
Yeah, because obviously a violation of privacy. So
Yeah.
it's like that definitely
It's
needs to be
crazy. And
these.
like there's stuff
Yeah,
against like people with their music, like copyrights and all
right.
kinds of stuff. And those laws are way stricter than someone that's being sex trafficked. Like it's crazy. Like what is going on, you
Look,
know?
I could get into this and get deep, but I'm not going to do that. But
Yeah.
all I can say is we live in a very, very sick world
Yeah.
where the value of humans is not really valued. To be honest, like our
Yeah.
livelihood, our mental health, our physical health, everything is just like, hey, like just keep going, But we're gonna make a law where you can't kick dogs because that matters more than you. So it's like
Yeah, it's
it's just
crazy.
weird. It's just really I don't know. I could say so much, but I'm gonna just leave it
Yeah.
there.
No, I totally agree. Like it's just the world is just too crazy. But we're kind of noticing or waking up to everything that's going on. So I feel like slowly everybody's getting on the same page, but it's just a lot of shaking up right now. Like,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
So it's getting there little by little
it
because
is.
there's a lot of work to be done. But
It is.
thank you so much for joining me today. I had such a great time talking to you, and like you're like so impressive. Like I want to like hang out with you and be like your best friend. Like hey, let's go and like let's play some football. Show me what to do. Like we have to do like a video where
Right.
you teach me how to do like American football.
I got you. Let me know. Because
Yeah, that would
you're
be
in
so
LA,
much
right?
fun. What?
I'm in LA all the time, so let me know. I'll be there.
Oh, for sure. Okay, like yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought like you were in Miami or something, like or
I'm actually in
Florida.
Atlanta.
You're in Atlanta right now?
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm in Florida right now, but I
Yeah.
live in Atlanta. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, whenever you come here, we have to do like a collab where you're like showing me how to do everything, and I'm like
Trying
Oh
to do
my
the extra.
God, my back hurts.
I got you. I got you. We gonna
I
have
need
fun.
physical therapy. Like,
I
like do
got
one
you.
thing, like lift one ball. Like, oh my God.
Trust me,
No,
I'll
but
get
that
you
would be
right. I'll
fun.
get you right.
Okay, cool. So, but thank you so much for joining me today, and send me all your links too, so I can put it in the description. So all my
Yeah.
followers, you can go and check out her links in the description, and buy all her products. Go and follow her on all
Yes.
social media, and like check out all her works and the book and like everything, because she's
Yes.
amazing, and you need to do this now, basically. Well,
Thank
thank you
you. I
so
appreciate
much.
it.
All right,
Of
okay,
course. Of
bye.
course.